Hey, welcome to my channel. In this video today, I'm going to help you with 3 simple strategies that you can use to overcome rejection in your life, your entire life, not just at work, not just at home, but these 3 simple strategies will help you eliminate it no matter where you might be experiencing this fear of rejection. So make sure you stay until the end of the video so you can get all 3 strategies. So again, welcome to my channel and my first video. If you like what you see today, feel free to subscribe and then hit that button so that you can get notifications every time I have videos that come out. They'll come out every Monday, and I love talking about all things clarity, confidence, execution, life goals, things that will help you, foundational things that will help you in your personal and professional life. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these 3 tips that I want to help you use in your everyday life so you can get over this fear of rejection. You ready to go? Let's go. All right, so these 3 tips have really helped me step out on a lot of the goals that I've looked to accomplish over the years. I mean, I typically have a hard time dealing with people telling me no. Can you imagine? I like being told yes, and who doesn't? And so sometimes I would be afraid to step out on some of my goals because I didn't want someone to tell me no if I asked for a certain thing. Or I was afraid of what people thought about me or what they would think if I stepped out and did a certain thing. However, when I started to use some of the tips that I'm going to share with you today, it's kept me along the path moving forward. It's the reason that I even wrote a book. The tips that I use have helped me actually pitch myself to potential clients and organizations as a speaker and a coach. And so I really believe that these tips can help you on the front end develop that confidence that you have everything that you need to do and ask for what you desire. And so let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting with number 1. And so the first tip that I want to give you is you must believe that you are a boss. I know that's crazy, right? But you really must believe that you are a boss and that you are a person that has everything that you need to have what you desire. And what I mean by that is sometimes we don't believe in who we are and everything that we come with, so we don't accurately pitch ourselves to the people or the organizations that we desire to actually do business with or we desire to partner with. And so I'm speaking about this from a place of if you're an entrepreneur or maybe you're someone that is in a career transition and maybe we're afraid to apply for a job, or maybe we're afraid to go into a different industry, or maybe we're afraid to pitch ourselves to a different type of clientele because we're worried about being told no. But are we really worried about being told no, or are we worried about whether or not we have what it takes to be in that organization or to work with those people? And so when we think about it from that perspective, it's really a matter of us making sure we can convince or reconvince ourselves that we are a boss, that we are someone that has what it takes to be able to come to the table to ask for what it is that we desire in that moment, whether it's a new job, whether it is an increase in salary, whether it is saying to someone that you want to partner with them for some reason. It can even be something that is not, money related or job related or business related, but sometimes we just don't believe in who we are and we come to the table with these insecurities, and that's why we're afraid of rejection, because of our own insecurities. So let's deal with that and really help ourselves see us for who we really are. And we are people that have accomplished things. We are people that actually have done some great things over the course of life that could help us and reassure us that we could come to the table however we need to. And so I think, number 1, when you're trying to overcome rejection or overcome this fear of failure, right, that you start thinking about, how have I been a boss? How have I been a boss in my personal life? Maybe I have done some things or overcome some things that people might have thought was crazy, but I overcame it, right? So if that is you, write those things down. Or maybe you've done some really dope professional things in your life that you forgot about. And so I want you to write these things down, because now you can go back and remember these things, and that can help you prior to making a big ask, give you that confidence juice. I like to call it confidence juice. Give you that confidence juice that you need to go ahead and make the ask. All right. So number one, remember that you're a boss, and let's go ahead and write those lists down of personal and professional things that you have done or have overcome to help you remember and get really secure in who you are and what you've been able to do, so you can make the ask. Just make the ask. All right. So that's number one. I hope you got that. 2 more coming. So number two. So number 2 is all about not being married to the outcome. I know, right? I'm saying that you ought not be married to the actual result of whatever you're requesting or coming to the table about. Because when we attach ourselves to the outcome, we tend to take it personally. Let me give you a couple of examples. So one example is I decided that I wanted to pitch myself for a specific speaking opportunity. And this was someone that I actually knew, and I knew the organization. And so when I pitched myself, I thought it was like a done deal. I'm like, yes, they're going to pick me. This should be easy. I'm in a relationship with these people and I'm awesome, right? I've already done number 1, right? Remembering I'm a boss. But then they told me no. They told me that they went another direction. And I was like, oh my gosh, I started feeling so down about it. However, if I would have separated myself from the outcome, I would not have been so crushed. Because at the end of the day, people make decisions based on whatever things that they need to base their decisions on. So maybe it was a budget thing, or maybe they wanted to go another direction because they wanted to pull a different audience, so they needed a different speaker. Whatever the case, they made the decision based on what they needed to make the decision on, not because of who I am. And so with that in mind, I can go and ask anybody or pitch myself anywhere and not really feel this sense of that it's something wrong with me. Because it might not necessarily be anything about me that is the reason that they made the decision. It has everything to do with them and the things that they need to make decisions about and what they have in front of them. And so if we don't marry ourselves to the decision or to the results of a thing, we can find ourselves feeling a lot more secure on the other end when or if we're told no, or if we find ourselves not, meeting the mark on whatever area we're looking to get some kind of feedback on. And so another example is if you're in relationships with people, or if you happen to be dating. Sometimes we can put all of our eggs in hoping, one person will go out with us, or that we'll be in a relationship with a certain kind of person, and maybe the person that we're seeking isn't interested in us. And we can take it really hard when people tell us no in that regard. But maybe it's the best thing because they're not really that interested, and you would rather be with someone that actually is interested in you. Same thing when it comes to a job or an entrepreneurial effort. You want customers and you want to be in organizations that also want you. So sometimes we get so caught up in this end result of wanting a certain thing, when in actuality, we want something that also wants us, and that feels a lot better. So if we're not attached to the result of the one person or the one organization, we can actually be at ease knowing that, hey, that's great, because if they didn't want me in that way, then I don't want to be a part of that, right? And it doesn't mean that that's a bad organization or a bad person. It just means that, hey, we're just not aligned, and that's okay. I can know that there is someone around, or there is an organization around that is going to be aligned with what I desire. And that, my friends, is called abundance, right? When we live in this place of scarcity, that there's only going to be that one guy, or it's only going to be that one organization, and if I'm not working there, or if I'm not with this person, or if I'm not doing this thing, then that's it. No, that is called scarcity. And we live in a place of abundance. And so with that in mind, we are, as I said in number 2, not going to be married to the result, because there is more than enough out there for us to be able to engage with others and with organizations so that we can have what we want. It's not just one solution out there. And so hopefully that helps you not be so afraid of rejection, because you can ask somebody else. You can go out with somebody else. You can apply for another job. You can ask somebody else to be your client. So many options out here. So many options. All right, so that is number 2, not being married to the end result, because we live in a place of abundance. We can have a lot of things. I hope this is helpful to you, and if it is, go ahead and give me some love in the chat. I say the chat a lot because I do a lot of trainings during the day. So I'm saying chat box because I'm always on Zoom. Sidebar. But you know what I'm saying. Leave a comment below and let me know how you're feeling about what you have heard, because hopefully it has been helping your whole life. All right. So the last one, number 3, is to remember that failure is feedback. So when we're being rejected or when someone has told us no, we can be resting assured that all we need to do is think about, how can this help me later? And so yes, our feelings may be hurt. We may have put a lot of effort into whatever we might have been presenting, or maybe if it's a relationship, we put a lot of effort into that relationship. And maybe if it's a business partnership, it's like, oh, I've been working with them for a long time and now it's not working. Whatever the case is, when things don't work out, it's something that we can do to help us alleviate some of those feelings of insecurity and rejection. And that could be reflecting on what you've learned. What did you learn from that situation? What did you learn from that relationship? What did you learn from that client partnership? There are so many things that can be learned from the things that don't necessarily go the way that we thought they would go. And these things can help you so that when you go into something else, you know, like, hey, I learned this. I can go into this with some more information. That doesn't mean it's going to always go over well, but it does mean you have new information, and that with each situation, all you're doing is growing. You're stretching yourself. And that, my friends, also helps us go into other situations not worrying about being rejected or not worrying about failing, worrying about failing, because we know that we're going to learn something from it. It's going to stretch us. It's going to grow us. It's going to be a part of our journey. It's going to make us better. And all of the things I just said lifted my life, so I'm sure it's lifting yours. So the last tip is to think about what things have gone wrong. Where have there been areas that you were rejected? And what can you learn from those things? Failure is just feedback. And feedback is actually a good thing, because feedback helps us do something the next time better and have a better response. And we learn from every time we do something. Nothing is perfect, and we are always being faced with perfection, especially in this world that we live in right now. It's everywhere. And it's actually okay to not be perfect. And when you mess up, it helps you kind of figure out what you can do better next time. So take that and run with it. That failure is feedback. That doesn't mean we don't try our best, but when we do our best, we got to know that it's not always going to work out the way we thought it was. And because of that, we can at least learn something from it. Goodness, learn something. All right, so I hope that was helpful to you. If you liked what you heard today, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, share this video with other people. Go ahead and comment. Let me know if you were loving what you heard, if you want to hear more things, or what other topics you want to hear more about. This is all helping me find the things that you want to hear from me. So I appreciate you and look forward to hearing from you more. If you want more ideas, more strategies on how to get clear about the things that you want in your life, go ahead and hit the link below and you can download my free mini workbook on how to find clarity, 4 easy ways to find clarity for your life and your business. So go ahead and get that. And so until the next time, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.